Hello, welcome to my Odin tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to write a hello world in Odin and some of the basic syntax in Odin. I have already a tutorial on this, but the quality was so low that I wanted to re-record it. Alright, the first thing you want to do when you have an Odin file up is to declare package, and we do that by writing package, and you can give whatever name you want to the package here, but it must be the same for all the files in the directory. So if you had another file, it would also require the same name. Let me just remove this. All right. Then to create a main, you write main : proc, and a main function takes nothing and returns nothing. And that's basically it to have your main up and running. If we are to run this now, you can see that nothing happens. So let's try and print something. So to do that, we'll have to import the core FMT library, the formatting library, and then you write fmt.printf hello world. And if we run this now, there we go, hello world. Now, I want to mention that there's a few different ways to run Odin or build Odin. So if you write Odin run dot, it will build everything in the directory that you're in, and it will run it after it's built. If you write Odin build dot, it'll just build it without running it. So most likely you would use run, but if you don't want that, you can write build and then just build it, and then you're able to run the executable afterwards, and you can see it's still just hello world. Yeah. The next thing I want to talk about is a little bit about the syntax. So in Odin, we always write the name of anything first, so like the name of a variable, like myInt, and then you write the type, or you write colon, the type, and then you write, if you write colon again, it means that it's a constant value, and if you write equal, it means that it's a variable. So let's make a variable here where we have myInt 5 and my constant int, which we make 6, right? Like that. We can print these values. I just wanted to show you what they actually do. So myInt here, we can print just like in C. If you write we here, it means that it'll automatically just figure out what it should do. If we want to specify that it's an integer, we can write I. And let's do this. And let us print here. So you can see my int is 5 and my constant int is 6. Cool. What happens if we do this, where we assign my int a new value? Well, you can see that it gets the new value 7, and mine is still 6, the constant one, sorry. The next thing I want to show you is what happens if you try and assign something to a constant. And you can't do that because it's a constant. And so that's the difference between the equal and the colon here. You don't typically want to, sometimes you don't want to write whatever the type should be. And that actually means you can just leave out the type here, and it will automatically figure out what it needs to be. Now, when you do this, we just write a number, it will infer that to be a integer, and if you write .0, it will infer it to be a float. So yeah, I would highly suggest when you write, stuff like this, to put in the type. But there are definitely some types, sometimes when you don't need the type. So like here, if you have myInt2 and you assign it to an integer, that type is definitely gonna be an integer, right? Because the type here is an integer. And this is also completely valid, by the way. Uh, so yeah, and let us try and write number 2 here instead. And you can see it's also 5. And it's the same as writing this, if that makes it more clear. Yeah, I think that was my basic syntax introduction here. I'll do another video where I go into more advanced stuff. See you then.